In our world, there was a guy named Sato Ryota who lived a challenging life. He would leave early in the morning, work long hours in a company, and come back home late at night. He dedicated all his time to work, neglecting his health and even skipping proper meals. Eventually, his unhealthy lifestyle caught up with him, leading to illness and hospitalization. Despite that, when he returned to work, he continued to push himself even harder. One night, exhausted from fatigue, he fell into a deep sleep, unaware of the drastic change awaiting him. Ryota wakes up in a mysterious dungeon, feeling tired and disoriented. A young girl named Emily, wielding a hammer, approaches him with the intent to strike. Ryota manages to stop her, surprising her with his humanity. Confused and unaware of his surroundings, Ryota listens as Emily explains that he has somehow ended up in a different world. In this world, everything is obtained by defeating monsters in dungeons. Emily was going to attack Ryota because she thought he was one of those monsters. Curious, Ryota joins Emily in her monster hunting adventures. He notices that she targets slime creatures and explains that they are in the first level of the dungeon. Emily's own power level is rated as 1. Ryota is unfamiliar with the concept of power levels, so Emily shows him a status board where they can see their power levels and skills, akin to a game. Emily scans her own status first, revealing her HP and strength both rated as B, along with basic skills. On the other side of the board, there is a section for drop status. Higher levels in drop status make it easier to obtain drops and increase the quantity obtained. Emily's highest drop rank is Plant, rated as E, while the other drop ranks are F. Ryota scans his skills and discovers that they are all ranked F, and his level is 1. However, what surprises him are his drop statuses, which are all ranked S. Emily misunderstands the S rank, thinking it is worse than F, but Ryota understands its significance. He asks Emily for a weapon to test his drop status, and she offers him her hammer. Unfortunately, the hammer is too heavy for Ryota to even lift. Emily apologizes and suggests a bamboo spear instead. This time, he manages to wield the spear. A slime appears, and Ryota strikes at it, missing twice before finally hitting it on the third strike. The slime drops a large amount of bean sprouts, leaving Emily in awe. It is the biggest drop she has ever seen, and she realizes that Ryota has an S rank. Emily cooks food for both of them, and Ryota is amazed by the taste. When she offers him soup, he starts crying, surprising Emily. She worries that he did not like the soup, but Ryota explains that he has not shared a warm meal with someone in a long time. He opens up to Emily about his difficult past, and she embraces him, offering comfort and reassurance. Her words warm his heart, and he weeps while she continues to hug him and pat his head. Grateful, Ryota thanks her. He decides to find a place for him to sleep in. Emily tells him of a city outside the dungeon. She gives him the bamboo spear to protect himself. He tells her that he will bring it back. She informs him that he can find her here. She is always in level 1 of the dungeon because she has no place to go to. Her drops are not that much, so she has never could rent a place to stay in. It is a dream for her. In the city, Ryota learns about the city's currency, pilos. The bean sprouts he collected are worth 200 pilos, while a room for one night costs 2,000 pilos, and a bowl of ramen is 500 pilos. Ryota starts working hard and hunting slimes. He realizes that his high drop rates changed the game for him this time. After 3 days of relentless effort, he manages to rent a house for 20,000 pilos. He shows the house to Emily, who likes it. To her surprise, Ryota gives her the key, explaining that he rented it for her. Emily cannot believe it and is taken aback. Ryota assures her that he will take care of the rent, and she does not need to worry. Seeing his blistered hands and tired eyes from his continuous work, Emily offers him to stay with her in the new house. Ryota goes to sell the bean sprouts. The girl at the cashier, Erza, knows him well as he has been bringing a big amount of bean sprouts lately. Erza informs him about the new dungeon Nihonium that came out recently, but no one knows what the drops are over there yet. Neptune Group, which is the biggest organization in the country, is studying the dungeon. However, Ryota intends to leave, so as not to hold the lineup more than that. Erza stops him and asks him if he wants to go drink something later that day. Ryota calmly refuses because he is busy today and just leaves. Ryota goes home to find Emily warmly welcoming him. Emily cleaned the house, making it look much better and cleaner. She offers Ryota a hot towel and then tea. Obviously, Emily is happy, and filled with joy, for having an apartment of her own. Ryota tells Emily about the new dungeon. She tells him that the monsters over there drop nothing. Curiosity compels Ryota to venture into the dungeon himself. As he explores the abandoned dungeon, a skeleton-shaped monster suddenly appears and attacks him. Ryota seizes the opportunity and strikes at the skeleton with his spear, but the weapon passes through it without causing any harm. The skeleton prepares to strike Ryota, but fortunately, a falling pillar crushes the monster. Ryota relentlessly strikes the skeleton's head with his spear until it vanishes, leaving behind a seed. He grabs the seed and holds it in his hand, hearing a voice that announces an increase in his HP rank. Determined to further boost his HP, Ryota continues to defeat skeletons in the dungeon. Emily eventually joins him, but she realizes that the skeletons she defeats do not drop seeds, and she cannot collect Ryota's seeds. Undeterred, Ryota persists in defeating skeletons until his HP rank reaches S. Ryota and Emily are having lunch when Ryota mentions his plan to explore level 2 of the dungeon. Emily's expression suddenly changes, and she expresses concern for Ryota. She worries that he has been working late every night and looks exhausted since renting the flat. She believes he is being reckless. This conversation reminds Ryota of his past life, and he promises Emily that he will return before sunset today. In the dungeon, Ryota hunts slimes. A slime attacks him, but due to his high HP, it does not hurt him. He defeats the slime, and it drops a large carrot. Another slime appears, but before it reaches Ryota, it gets attacked and burned down, dropping a smaller carrot. 3 people appear and mock Ryota when they realize he is only in the first level. They leave, and a girl standing behind Ryota also mocks him for being level 1. Strangely, she hits him on the head and walks away. Later that night, Emily is amazed by the size of the carrots. Ryota sells the carrots in the market for 8,000, keeping enough for themselves. Suddenly, there is a knock on the door, interrupting their conversation. Ryota opens the door and finds the girl he met in the dungeon. She hits him on the head, speaks, and confesses her love for him. If you want to know who is that girl? And what is about to happen to Ryota? Then subscribe to watch our coming videos. And a like would help Ryota empower his skills.